Well, let's try and build a good enough squad to hopefully do back-to-back-to-back promotions. Hello, welcome to part 27 of Flight to the Prem with British Airways, and in today's episode, we shall be trying to build a good enough squad to hopefully, well, I'd say hopefully, probably good enough to finish in the top half of Tier 8. I'm not going to try and go for promotion, but if it happens, I guess. So, as you can see, but before we do any transfers, we will take a look at our end of season review. As you can see, we do have another trophy in the trophy cabinet. We were crowned champions of Tier 9. First time of asking, by the way, so that's back-to-back promotions. Who knows? Can we do 3 promotions on the bounce? It's definitely possible, but I wouldn't be disappointed if we don't. So let's take a look at we'll take a look at all of the players we've brought in over the course of last season, starting off with Jack Dixon, who was crowned signing of the season. And I'll tell you what, he's a brilliant signing. 25 goal assists from 40 games. That is very good. I'm very glad he is sticking around with us for next season, because he looks like he could be potentially Vanarama standard, I reckon, even though it does say regional first, which is tier 8. So hopefully he gets a bit better than that. Then Ryan Grosvenor, he was okay. I don't think he's contracted for next season. No, he's not. We probably won't offer him a new one. Then Robert Clegg, he was an okay loan signing. He was nothing spectacular, but he was a good player. Elliot Long, he was fine. He's fine as a backup. I wouldn't say he's a starter, which is why we're not going to renew his contract. Then Baton, absolutely fantastic. 30 goals. 0 assists, so I expected better than that. But he is out of contract, so you never know. We might bring him back for next season. And Henry Moore, an absolute fantastic centre back, absolute rock at the back. I would love to bring him back to the club next season if he does get released. And Owen Hughes, a fantastic goalkeeper. I believe, he is contracted for next season, so he's going to be a fantastic goalkeeper for us for next season. And Butland, a fantastic player. I believe he is also contracted, but I can't remember. Then Medhurst is fine as a backup. Starter, not really that good. Then Adelard, he didn't really play a lot because he did get struck down with a lot of injuries. And Ethan Kaiser, pretty much just a emergency signing. Jordan Dyer, he was an okay backup for what's his name, Dixon. He was a pretty good backup. Played well when he played, not so good when he didn't play. That's weird. Curtis Turner, we don't really need to know about him. He did play 13 goal contributions from 37 games. That's not too bad considering he didn't really play every game. Then Frank Caruso, fantastic player. He has signed a new contract for next season. And Joe Wilkinson is fine. I'm probably tempted to release him because he's just not good enough for tier 8. Then Jake Hewitt has signed a new contract. He'll be around with us for next season. Lots of good potential there. So the board wanted us to finish in the top half. We exceeded that by finishing first. Yeah, that's very good. And FA Cup actually went really well considering it was our first season in it. So we actually got all the way to the 3rd qualifying round, which absolutely unbelievable because considering it was our first year in it, I thought we were just going to get to like the 1st qualifying round, not let alone the 3rd. So who knows? Could we go all the way this year to the 1st round? Not the final. I'm just joking there. FA Vars, I don't know if we qualify for this one this year. I think we are in the FA Trophy, but again, that has to be confirmed. And the Challenge Cup, we don't really care about it. We've got knocked out in the 3rd round. Again, it's a pointless trophy. Their biggest win this year was a win against Egham, which was 5-0. Then our match to remember was a 4-0 win over Virginia Water, which was the extra preliminary round in the FA Cup. Then goal of the season went to Malcolm Patton. His goal in the 44th minute, which we will take a look at. So it's 54th minute goal. Let's see what this was like. Honestly, was this goal in an episode? I got a feeling it was. I think it was quite a good goal from what I hear. I mean, it's okay. I thought we had better goals than that this season, but I don't know. Fans chose that as the goal of the season. So annual revenue, competition prize money, as predicted, did go up massively due to the FA Cup run. Corporate hospitality is okay. Their matchday commercial retail has gone up massively, obviously because of the cup run as well. Then club reputation has stayed the same. I expect they'll go up next season. Total merchandise sales, obviously £244. We haven't sold any shirts. That's a little bit weird. So our best 11 for this year was Hughes in goal, a back four of Owusu, Moore, Wilkinson and Bartlett, Clegg and Grosvenor in the midfield. Then we had Dixon on the right, Sartorius in the middle, who probably will be leaving us at the end of this season. I've tried to offer him a new contract, but he just wants 200 money. We're financially, we cannot afford to pay players 240 quid a week. Absolute ridiculous. And same as Francis, he'll probably be going at the end of this season. Patton up front. Obviously, we will try and get Francis on a new contract, but I very much doubt it's going to be successful. Turner has rejected the move. I think we probably do end up releasing him because he's just not good enough for tier 8. I think that's the same as Joseph. So let's take a look at see what players are in contract for next year. So players who are staying around. We've got Jake Hewitt, Owen Hughes, Franco Russo, Johnny Butlin, and Jack Dixon. I mean, some great players there. Lots of potential there. And I think Francis, I would love to offer you a new contract, but let's see what you want. A non-contract? Wait, really? I'll offer you a part-time contract. Go 85 because we can offer a little bit more. I'm not sure why. Okay, that's Francis down to a new contract. I just wish Sartorius you were a little less picky of what you wanted. We'll try and offer you again. No, but I very much think Sartorius is going to be leaving anyway. I don't think there's any other notable players that need to be offered a contract. I think Wilkinson goes as well. I think we'll release him on a free because he is unlikely to improve. He's not really good. He's not going to step up into tier 8, bottom line. So he's going to be there. Those two are going to be going. I'm fairly sure that even Kaiser, I think he goes. Obviously, Sartorius, you've said I tried to offer him a new contract. He's having none of it. Ryan Grosvenor, he was a good player, but really makes a step up. Regional first. Oh, I don't know. I might have to come back to Grosvenor. I think Medhurst, yep, you are done. Adlard, you are most definitely done. Obviously, A. Francis, we've just offered him a new contract. Elliot Long, I think you are done as well. I don't think you're going to step up. I think you barely played this season, so which is why I'm not going to offer him a new contract. So I think it's just Francis in this bunch of players who will be signing a new contract. So I think I'm probably just going to jump straight. Actually, you know what? Actually, it's well, I did obviously see season review came in a little bit late. I've also done the board expectations. I did that off camera because it was mainly the same as last season. If I can find them, I will show you them. Board expectations. Come on, it's definitely up there because I've already done it. Yeah, so the next season they want us to play attacking football, possession football, make the most of set pieces, play entertaining football, play high-tempo pressing football, work within the wage budget, all which I can do. Then this is where it gets a little bit more tricky. They want us to avoid relegation, so we're not going to do 3 promotions on the bounce. So I will take top half or playoffs. Then they also want me to repair the club's financial damage. See, if there was a time for a takeover, it's now. I very much doubt it's going to happen in today's episode, but you never know. We could do with a tycoon takeover would be absolutely fantastic, but not at this level. We just need a takeover, someone to pump money into the club, which is clear that needs happening because we're $500,000 in debt or close to. My contract does expire soon. They haven't offered me a new one, so hopefully they do that in the next coming week. So I think I'm probably just going to jump straight ahead to probably the opening transfer day, opening of the transfer window. Hopefully we might have signed a player or two, but who knows? The world is our palm tree. Well, it's currently the 9th of June and the transfer window has just opened, and I'm pleased to announce we have not signed 1 player, not 2, but 4 players. We have signed 4 players. That's it at the moment. Obviously, I'm sure we've offered contracts to other players. No, we haven't. But these are the 4 players we have signed. 2 good players, 2 backup players, but plenty of experience. So start off with the 2 backup players. One of them being Jacob Dragon Kane. He is a English 33-year-old centre mid. Basically, just an experienced guy. 3 stars current ability, good player for tier 9. I'm sure he can play in tier 8 as well. But he comes in on a free transfer from Western Supermare. Great playing experience for Western Supermare. Been there for quite a long time. So he's got good playing experience in the higher levels. Also started off his career at Exeter. So that's basically one of the reasons why I signed him. A youth player from Exeter. Next up is Elliot Andrew. He's a 25-year-old English striker, 2.5-star capability, 3-star potential. Good player for tier 9, leading player for tier 9. He is going to be only a backup. I will sign another striker. He comes in on a free transfer from Haringey, where he scored 9 goals from 39 games. So it's not good, it's not bad, it's in the middle. He started off his career at Nottingham Forest, so not a bad place to start. Then moving on to the 2 brilliant players, in my opinion. First up is Samson Hewitt. He is a 21-year-old English centre attacking mid, 4 stars current ability, 5-star potential. He's a good regional first player, close to full potential, so I reckon he can make the step up to tier 7 if and when we get there. He comes in on a free transfer from Kidderminster. Recently had a loan spell at Leek, who are, I presume that's the same level as yeah, that's the same level, so not bad loan spell at Leek, so I reckon he'll be a fantastic player for us. Then next up is Mitch Aston. He is a English 21-year-old centre mid, not centre attacking mid, 4.5 stars of current ability, 5-star potential, good regional first player. We signed him on a free transfer from Concord, and started off his career at Portsmouth. Didn't make any appearances, but it's a good place to start. Very good. And looks like he played quite well for Concord. I'm not sure how the hell we picked him up, but look at his value. We're going to get some money in for him, I reckon, in the not too distant future. What was his value? Again, pretty decent. I reckon we could get at least 5 to 10k for him if and when we happen to sell him. So in terms of the squad, this is what we are working with at the moment. So, who signed? Francis did sign his new contract, so he's on £85 per week. So this is what the wage budget at the moment looks like. So we're working with £316 per week, but obviously players will be leaving, so that probably frees up around £300. Then we have to sign probably about at least 10 players. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but obviously we will bring in loans, which will obviously we won't pay any of their wages, so that's a bonus. I don't think there's any limit on how many loans we can sign in tier 8, so we'll probably just abuse the loan system. So probably get at least a minimum of 5 loans I reckon, but you never know. So I think in terms of squad, I'm actually quite happy with what I've got so far. Got a bunch of decent players, some okay players, Elliot Andrew in particular, but he's coming just to be a backup. I know it's crazy, but I'm sure he'll play some games. So I think I'll probably come back sort of beginning of July. I've got no idea when this season starts, so it could be end of July. I'm hoping it's August, so then we have a little bit longer to bring in players. Obviously, if it's end of July, it doesn't give us very long at all. So I will see you beginning middle of July, where hopefully we will have brought in a few more players. Well, it's currently the 9th of July. Transfer window is, as usual, proving quite difficult, but I'm pleased to announce we have signed some players. Allow me to announce who on earth we have signed. I believe we've actually only signed 3 players. I thought I signed a few more than that, but turns out we haven't. So first up is Oliver Hemlin. He is a 22-year-old English centre mid, 3 stars current ability, 5-star potential. He's a good player for this league. Potentially could make the step up to the next tier. He comes in on a free transfer from Herne Bay. He's pretty much done the long league tour. Started off his career at Luton, so that's quite impressive. That. Then next up is Samuel Jeremiah. He is a 25-year-old English left bringer, 3 stars of current ability, 4-star potential. Good player for this league. Probably this can be a leading player for this league. He won't make the step up into tier 9. So he comes in on a free transfer from Grays Athletic. Did we play against him last season? Maybe, possibly. I reckon we might have played it. We must have. You know what? We can have a look. We can have a look and see if we did play against him last season. Because we did play against him in the FA Cup. Obviously, we did beat them, but did we play against him? That's a big question. Jeremiah, yes, we did. He had a bit of a shocking game, but we did play against him. So I reckon he'll be a fantastic signing. Plenty of competition on the left-hand side. Obviously, Hewitt says he can play out there. He's really an attacking mid, but plenty of competition between Jeremiah and Francis. So that is very good. Then we've also brought in this guy, Sam Jolly. He's a 20-year-old English centre-back, 4.5 stars of current ability, leading player for this league, potentially tier 7. He comes in on a free transfer from Oxford City with pretty good players. I'm very surprised we've actually got him, considering he was playing in the Vanarama North last season. He's dropped down 2 tiers to play for us. I mean, that's quite amazing, that. So this is what the budgets are currently looking like at the moment. We've still got £400 spare wage budget, so not too bad. This is what the squad doesn't look like. Obviously, that's included a bunch of youth players. Can we hide the youth players? Can we? I don't think there's any way we can. So which is quite annoying. That's really annoying that we have to have these stupid youth players in the squad. So at the moment, I think I can sort of remember who's in the first team squad. So at the moment, goalkeepers, we've got Hughes and Markovic. Then obviously right backs, we've got Rusu at the moment. Then centre backs, we've got Hewitt and Jolly. I'm not sure if there's anyone else in this bunch that is in the first team. Then left backs, we've just got Butland at the moment, so probably light of about 4 defensive players, obviously a full back on each side and 2 centre backs. Then centre mids at the moment, we've got Hemlin and Aston and Jack and Kane, so we probably just need one more centre mid, probably alone maybe, or another young player, or just alone. I reckon alone probably should do the trick. Then on the right, we've got Dixon. And that's it. Then in the middle, we've got Hewitt, and that's it. So we need a right winger, centre attacker mid. Then left wingers, we're done. Francis and Jeremiah. Then strikers, we've got Elliot Andrew as the backup. Malcolm Baton is back for another season, so he's going to be our starting striker. Hopefully he can get a few more goals than last season. Hopefully he can, because he has played up in this level before. He had a loan spell at South Park before us. Scored 11 goals. That's not too bad. I believe South Park are actually in the same league as us, I believe. No, they're not. They've actually, no, they've been relegated. I presume they've been relegated to the league we were in, I think, but I might be completely wrong. They're not in the same league as us. So, obviously, he has played in Tier 8 before, so I reckon he'll be very good. So, I reckon, so we need, we're all good for goalkeepers. I might keep an eye out for one more, because Owen Hughes, he can play. He'll be fine, but I just need another goalkeeper, because I think Markovic might go out on loan once again, so I reckon we could do with another goalkeeper. Obviously, so goalkeeper, potentially a right back, two centre backs, a left back, potentially another centre mid, loan or permanent, I don't mind. A right winger, a centre attacker mid, and that's it. So we're roughly about 5-6 players short. So I reckon we could do that. Our first game this season is actually the FA Cup game, so which will be very exciting, because I want to try and get to the first round, or if not, try and get to the fourth qualifying round. So that'd be coming up in tomorrow's episode. So I'm going to come back just before we play that first. Actually, you know what? I keep forgetting this. I actually have signed a new contract. A £10 pay increase, but still good. Only a 1 year contract. I'm fairly sure it's just going to be 1 year contracts until we decide to go like full time. Then they can start offering me like 2-3 year contracts. So that'd be very nice when that does happen. So I'll come back just before we play our first FA Cup game of the season, but hopefully I will have assembled a full 20, 22, 23 man squad. Well, we have reached the start of the brand new season. Shall we take a look and see what signings I've done so far? Obviously, this isn't all of the signings. We will keep an eye out for a couple more players, but let's go through all of the signings we've done so far in this episode. We'll start off with the players we signed on the back end of last season, starting with Mitch Aston. He is a 21-year-old English centre mid, 4 stars current ability, 5 stars potential. Leading player for this league, potentially could be tier 7. He came in on a free transfer from Concord. Their next signing is Jacob Jagger Kane. He is a 33-year-old English centre mid, 2 stars current ability, leading county league. But he came in on a free transfer from Western-super-Mare, mainly because he's got good experience from the Vanarama South and North, and from Tier 7 as well. So I reckon he'll be quite a good player to have, particularly around the younger ones, just to give him that bit of experience player to have. Then Elliot Andrew is a 25-year-old English striker, 2 stars current ability, 2.5 potential, leading county league, but potentially Espion, that's tier 8 into. He's not a good striker at all, is he? He came in on a free transfer from Haringey. Their next signing is Samson Hewitt. He is a 22-year-old English centre attacker mid, 3.5 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. He's a good player for this league, but potentially tier 7. He comes in on a free transfer from Kidderminster Harriers. Looks like a very good player, in my opinion. I'm sure he will be. And moving on to this season is first one being Oliver Hemlin. He is a 22-year-old English centre mid, 2.5 stars of current ability, 4.5 star potential. Good player for this league. Potentially could make the step up into tier 7. He comes in on a free transfer from Herne Bay, previously of Luton. Then next up is Samuel Jeremiah. He is a 25-year-old English left winger, 3 stars of current ability, 4-star potential. He's a good player for this league. Potentially could be tier 7. No, that's not tier 7. That's the same league, so he'll only improve in this league. Won't get any better. He comes in on a free transfer from Grays Athletic. Then we've got Sam Jolly. He is a 20-year-old English centre-back, 4 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. Leading player for this league, potentially could be tier 7. He comes in on a free transfer from Nevada Rammer North Side, Oxford City, or South Side. I don't really understand that. How can they be in one? How can they switch from between Valorant and South? Oh, I don't get that at all. Oh, that baffles my brain if that happens. So I switch it very easy could, because we're in London, so we're very much north or south. I don't really know how that's going to work. Moving on to the most recent signings, the signings you have not met. Some of them are decent, some of them not so decent, but they'll be in the squad. So first up is Jeff Lewis. He's a 18-year-old Welsh right winger, 3 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. He's a good player for this league, but potentially Southern League Premier South, which is tier 7. It was actually showing up as potential Valorant and North South, which I'm sure is the case. He comes in on a free transfer from Bristol City as part of our seasonal thing where we try and get a free transfer from a EFL club, which is what we've done this season. Then next up is Ryan Davies. He is a 18-year-old Welsh centre mid, capped at under 18 level. I didn't notice that. He's a 3.5-star current ability player, 5-star potential, leading player for this league, but potentially tier 7 or even higher. He comes in on a free transfer from Norwich. I didn't see that one. I did not notice that at all, but he's our first Premier League youngster. He'll be a fantastic player, I reckon. Next up is Prosper Keto. He's a 25-year-old English left back, 2.5 stars of current ability, 3.5 potential. Good player for this league. He comes in on a free transfer from Russian and Diamonds. We did have him on loan last season, beginning of it or middle of it, roughly for a little bit of the season. He comes in on a permanent this time, so I reckon he'll be a good player to have around. Then next up is Matthew Weir. He's a 25-year-old Danish centre-back, 2 stars potential, 2 stars current ability. He's an emergency backup, but it's fine. He's a leading county league player, but potentially could be good enough for this league. I very much doubt it, but I'm sure anyone can play in any league down in these things. I don't think there's a massive step up, in my opinion. He comes in on a free transfer from East Grinstead Town. Actually started off at Brighton. I didn't realise that. He went to Colchester. Never actually played any games for them, but pretty decent teams he's played for. Next up is Harry Rutty. He's a 27-year-old English centre-back, 2.5 stars of current ability. Good player for this league. He comes in on loan this season from Sittingbourne Reserves, or Sittingbourne Town, I think. So I reckon he'll be a useful player to have around. I'm not sure if he'll start, but you never know. Then next up is Diego Ferreira. He's a Portuguese right back, 2 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. He's a leading county league player, but he's pretty much come in to be Frank Caruso's backup. So he comes in on loan from Dover. So a good club. I think they're tier 7. I think they're just 1 tier above us. Then last but not least is Jordan Geacock. He's a 20-year-old English centre attacker mid, 2.5 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. Decent player for this league, potentially tier 7. He comes in on loan from St Albans City. So again, not a bad club. I presume they were. They did used to be Vanarama South. Yeah, but it used to be Vanarama South. Now they haven't really been in the Vanarama South for quite some time, but hopefully they do get back up there at some point. Ideally before we get there. So I reckon we'll get there before them. So that'd be very good if that does happen. So with all the transfers coming, this is what the current squad currently looks like. So goalkeepers for this year, we've got Hughes and Markovic. Markovic will be going out on loan, so I expect we'll get in another goalkeeper, probably alone, because the wage budget is looking very not good, but we're still in it, just about. Then right backs, so far we've got Owusu and Ferreira. Then centre backs, we've got Weir, Rutty, Hewitt, and Johnny. So I reckon starting centre back partnership, I reckon will be Hewitt and Johnny for this year, possibly. Maybe Rutty, maybe then Weir as the fourth choice centre back, emergency centre back. Then left backs, we've got Keto and Butlin. I reckon Butlin will be starting. Maybe, possibly Keto. He's a little bit better than Butlin, but Butlin does have good potential. Then centre mids, we've got Jagger Kane, Hemlin, Aston, and Davies. I think we all know the centre mid partnership of this season will be Aston and Davies. I think, I presume so. I think it could be Hemlin. We can switch between the three of them. Jagger Kane as the fourth choice centre back. Then right wingers, we've got Jack Dixon and Jeff Lewis. They can pretty much interchange. They're probably as good as each other, I think. Then centre attacker mids, we've got Hewitt as the first choice, G-Cock as the backup. Left wingers, we've got Francis and Jeremiah. That again, those two can pretty much interchange as they wish. There's not really any first choice or second choice in that position. Then strikers, we've got Elliot Andrew as the backup, Malcolm Breton as the first choice striker. We probably might keep an eye out on another striker if Andrew does get a grumpy on and we ever decide to let him go. So that's always the case, because I very much doubt he's going to get very much game time, considering he is a target forward at 5'11". We will just play him as an advanced forward. Hopefully he gets a few goals with that. So before we do end today's episode, let's take a look at the season preview and see where it predicts us to finish 5th. Obviously, last season in the league below, it also predicted to finish us 5th. So are we going to get 3 promotions on the bounce? Possibly, maybe. I hope not. But that's always the case. If we do, sort of gets us that one step closer to the EFL. I'm going to call it, I'm not going to say the Premier League, because we might not get there before the launch of FM25, which is always the case. I am quite fearful of that, but I'm hopeful we can get there. I'm sure we can, if we can get like a couple back-to-back promotions every now and again. Obviously, this season I will very much try and go for top half. If we could be champions, great. I'm not expecting it, but you never know. So I will see you all in the next episode, where we'll be playing our first FA Cup game of the new season against Ashford. Then if we win that game, we'll be playing the other qualifying rounds of the FA Cup. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more Daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.